Alright, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here or what's going on. I just thought it's kind of fun to play with this kind of stuff. I had originally I'd taken this 15,000 volt transformer that I have, and when I was changing out the wires, I decided, let me just kind of play with the ends, and I was playing with the arcs and whatnot. And I figured, hey, well, you know what? I'm going to try and take two neodymium magnets, pretty large ones, and I had the two wires sticking together, ends, and the magnet underneath. And I ended up splitting the arc into 4 different fragments. It was kind of like if there were a ball thrust in the middle of that single stream of electrons, and it went around all 4 poles of that ball. It was very interesting. Anyway, I was cleaning out the garage today, and I remembered that I had this little baby here. I got it out of my, unfortunately, would-be future father-in-law's supply. And, well, yeah, never mind. That was the wrong thing to say. We're still getting married, don't worry. Anyway, I found it sitting here. I've always meant to hook it up to something, so I decided to hook it up to 15K, and voila, it worked just fine. Now, the problem with this video is that it's not really going to show very clear, because this isn't the best webcam ever. It's just something that I have. I'm going to take those 2 neodymium magnets, which are stuck together, as such, in the background there, and I'm going to bring them closer and closer to this field. Alright, the first thing you notice is that it's funking it all up. Now, I want to get a little bit closer here, and you can see clearly here that it's actually splitting it into 2 different fields. What's going on in the middle, though? What's going on in the middle is important. So when I bring it straight over the top, here's where you see our double helix. Now, of course, on the video it doesn't really do it justice at all. But if I bring it back around, kind of in and out, you can see where this magnetic field is actually affecting. There we go. That's kind of cool. Right there, kind of neat. Alright, let's flip it around to the other side of the magnet. Oh, hey, look at that. Same effect. Same effect. Alright, now bring it to the back side. Same effect, still splitting. Now let's bring it to the null point in the middle, where the seam is, essentially. And where does that... Oh, don't go to the camera. Go to the... Here we go. And it all kind of wants to go up to the middle. Wants to get sucked in. Anyway. I think I'll have to try one magnet, but this thing can't really be on for very long. It does get rather hot. For all intents and purposes, this is the end of the video. But what I'm hypothesizing is that you have an AC current, and okay, so your current is changing, or your voltage is changing, positive and negative. 60 times a second in phases of 3. And every time it goes positive, it has one polarity in terms of magnetism. And every time it goes negative, it has another polarity in terms of magnetism. So therefore, those electrons, which are negatively charged, will assume that they're south in magnetic terms. They're going to be pulled one direction and pushed the other. Pulled one direction, push the other. Now, of course, the electron travels really fast, so what we see when we first turn this thing on like this is just a single line, but that's just a ton of electrons moving from one direction to another per magnetism, because you've got a magnetic flow of positive running the other direction. If you're talking magnetic current, that's where I'm going with all this. So when you have the magnet there, the neodymium magnet, it's a single-sided pole that we're facing towards this thing. So it's actually drawing the current, or drawing the electrons one direction as it's attracting them, and pushing them along another path as they're repelling them when the AC signal is changing north, or positive and negative, positive and negative. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. There would be an east and west. And you know what, I'll stop this one for now, and then I'm going to try just a single magnet just to see where we stand with that.